Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital spoilers. Dante blasts Sonny over shady Dex request. Last bit of family loyalty destroyed. General Hospital, spoilers reveal that Sonny Corinthos, Morris Bennard, will have a difficult time during the week of May 20 to 24. Things will start off on a rough note since Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mancy, caught a glimpse of Sonny behaving like an aggressive lunatic. Although Christina's heard some negative stories about Sonny lately, she still believed he was a good guy at his core. That's why this latest incident will turn Christina's world upside and leave her questioning the man she thought she knew. Of course, Sonny will also have to worry about Dex Heller, even Hofer, potentially pressing charges. Since Sonny obviously won't want to end up in prison over the beating he gave his former employee, he'll turn to Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, for assistance. Sonny may think Dante could talk Dex into letting this go or work some other magic at the PCPD to make this problem go away. It looks like Sonny will count on Dante to help him in some shady way and end up disappointed. Fans know Dante has already been worried about the possibility of Sonny coming to him for help like this. The lines between being a good cop and a good son have blurred lately for Dante, so this will be another example of Sonny muddying the waters. Once Sonny's counting on Dante to do something shady, it'll apparently push Dante too far. General Hospital spoilers say Dante will fire back with a serious warning and perhaps make it crystal clear that Sonny is on his own here. Dante may rip into Sonny for his latest round of criminal behavior and refuse to lift a finger to help him. As far as Dante's concerned, he may argue that Sonny will deserve it if he gets arrested and sent to Pentonville. It sounds like Dante will decide he's had enough and turn against Sonny, who'll no doubt be feeling pretty low after Christina and Dante both develop bigger issues with him. Based on our predictions, Dante's outburst may convince Sonny that his last loyal child is gone, at least out of his adult children who have seen his worsening demeanor lately. General Hospital spoilers say Sonny will have a lot to navigate in the aftermath of his attack on Dex, so stick with us for updates on all the shocking news ahead. General Hospital spoilers, fatal tragedy still to come. Mystery characters' sad send-off. General Hospital, spoilers reveal that the show's recent preview video created a lot of confusion among fans. Thanks to some clever and careful editing, the promo for the week of May 13 to 17 made it seem like the wedding would end with a trauma victim. However, it turned out to be Jack Brennan, Charles Mashore, who staged a scene in the prison showers to make it look like he'd been attacked. Brennan's self-inflicted wound was the reason for all the blood loss and trauma unit talk. Sonny Corinthos, Morris Bennard, wound up beating up Dex Heller, even Hofer. But Jason Morgan, Steve Furton, intervened before Sonny could do his worst. Although Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mancy, will have a baby scare as a result of what she witnessed, it seems Molly Lansing Davis, Kristen Vaganos, and TJ Ashford's Taj Fellow, unborn child, will be all right in the end. Even so, a loss is still brewing in Port Charles based on SOD's May sweeps preview info. So let's take a closer look at a particular line. Yet while the wedding is a special celebration for Port Charles, the town will also lose someone. That certainly sounds like confirmation that someone's getting a fatal exit before May sweeps is over. It also sounds like it'll be someone the town truly cares about, since that'd be a weird way to phrase it if a villain was getting written out. Evan Hofer has still been at the studio quite recently, so it doesn't look like there's any reason to worry about Sonny finishing Dex off. Gregory Harrison, still seems to be the character in the most jeopardy due to his ALS decline, which may speed up now that his wedding goal has been accomplished. Harrison Chase, Josh Swickard, was hoping his dad could live long enough to hold his first child, but that just doesn't seem realistic under the circumstances. Will PH writers find a way to move things along when it comes to Gregory's demise? Is Gregory the person that Port Charles will lose? Of course, May sweeps always bring some surprises, so there's a chance someone unexpected will face a grim fate instead. Regardless, it's important to clarify that although the wedding victim situation was a bit of a fake-out, there are still strong signs about a tragic loss happening before May winds down. General Hospital spoilers say some crushing news is looming, so we'll pass along additional story predictions as more tragedy updates emerge. The hallowed halls of General Hospital were unusually quiet, casting long, foreboding shadows that seemed to whisper secrets. It was as if the very air carried the weight of an impending tragedy, an unseen storm brewing beneath the surface of the daily hustle and bustle. The lives intertwined within these walls were about to be irrevocably changed. Dr. Hamilton Finn, a man of science and reason, couldn't shake the feeling of dread that had settled in his chest. His instincts were rarely wrong, haunted by years of life and death decisions. Lately, he had found himself lingering in the ICU, his eyes drawn to a particular room, where the monitors hummed and the sterile scent of antiseptic was a constant reminder of the fragility of life. Inside that room lay a mystery patient, known to the staff only as John Doe. Found unconscious near the docks, he had been brought in with no identification, no family, and a host of injuries that spoke of a violent encounter. Finn had taken a special interest in the case, compelled by a sense of responsibility and an unexplainable connection. As days turned into weeks, the hospital staff buzzed with theories about the man's identity. Was he a lost soul from a far-off place, a victim of foul play, or perhaps a pivotal character from Port Charles' intricate tapestry, forgotten and abandoned? Speculations ran wild, but no answers emerged, only deepening the mystery. Meanwhile, in the corridors of General Hospital, other dramas unfolded. Elizabeth Weber was caught in a whirlwind of emotions, juggling her responsibilities as a nurse and her personal battles. Her close friend, Franco Baldwin, had been acting strangely, and Liz couldn't shake the feeling that he was hiding something from her. Their relationship had weathered countless storms, but this new strain threatened to tear them apart. Across the hospital, Carly Corinthos, a force of nature in her own right, was embroiled in her own turmoil. Her husband, Sonny Corinthos, was missing, presumed dead after a harrowing incident. Grief clung to her like a shroud, yet she maintained a steely facade, determined to keep her family together. Little did she know, the ripples of John Doe's arrival would soon reach her doorstep, intertwining their fates in unexpected ways. The mystery patient's condition remained critical, his recovery slow and uncertain. Finn and his colleagues worked tirelessly, each small improvement met with cautious optimism. Yes, and days passed. Finn couldn't ignore the gnawing feeling that time was running out. He'd often found himself sitting by the patient's bedside, speaking in hushed tones, hoping his words might somehow reach through the haze of unconsciousness. One fateful night, as a full moon cast an eerie glow over Port Charles, the tension within the hospital reached a breaking point. An urgent page summoned Finn to the ICU. Heart-pounding, he raced through the empty halls, dread settling like a stone in his gut. Upon arrival, he was met with chaos, alarms blaring, nurses scrambling, and a sense of impending doom hanging heavy in the air. John Doe's condition had taken a sudden turn for the worse. Despite their best efforts, the medical team struggled to stabilize him. Finn barked orders, his mind a whirlwind of medical jargon and desperate hope. But deep down, he knew they were losing the battle. Time seemed to stretch and warp, each second an eternity, until the inevitable flatline pierced the air. Silence followed, a deafening void filled with unspoken grief. Finn stood motionless, staring at the lifeless form before him. The mystery patient, the man who had haunted his thoughts and dreams, was gone. The sense of failure was overwhelming, a bitter pill he struggled to swallow. As word of John Doe's passing spread through the hospital, a somber mood settled over everyone. Questions lingered, unanswered and aching. Who was he? What had brought him to their doorstep, and why had fate been so cruel? The tragedy felt deeply personal, touching the lives of those who had cared for him, and even those who had never known him. In the days that followed, a quiet investigation began. Dr. Finn, unable to let go, delved into the mystery with renewed determination. With the help of Detective Dante Falconeri, they uncovered fragments of the man's past, piecing together a story of heartache and loss. The search led them to dark corners of Port Charles, revealing secrets long buried and connections to the city's most powerful families. Carly Corinthos found herself drawn into the unfolding drama. As details emerged, she realized the mystery man's identity had ties to her own family, a distant relative lost to the annals of time. The revelation brought a wave of mixed emotions, sorrow for the man who had died alone, and a sense of kinship that transcended bloodlines. The funeral, a somber affair, was attended by those who had been touched by John Doe's brief presence in their lives.